Hello guys, I hope everybody is able to see me, hear me and see the screen properly. सबको मेरी आवाज एकदम clearly सुनाई दे रही है. We're going to be talking today about the CFA exam. CFA level 2 results have been out. Okay. There have been in the last week also we saw CFA level 1 results coming in, and today I'm going to be talking about how to prepare for CFA level 1 if you have a 6 months window. What are the strategies that you're supposed to use? I'm also going to be talking about few important tips which as a student you are supposed to take care of. Okay, if there is any query you can reach out to me on the WhatsApp number, and also you can put it on the chat section. I'll be addressing those queries also. So wonderful. Let us start with the session. First, I'll give you a brief about the exam. Okay, a slight brief. A lot of people are new. Okay, they might not know what exactly is the exam related to CFA. So they will get a quick brief about this section. Okay, so what exactly is a CFA charter? CFA charter is a world recognized. Okay, it's a gold standard if you want to enter into investment research, if you want to enter into investment banking programs. Okay, so it's a 3-level exam. Shortly, we call the CFA exam as a chartered financial analyst exam, and we call it in short form as CFA. Okay, and it is widely applicable across the industry. It helps you to get into portfolio management, investment research, wealth planning, equity research. And when you look at the curriculum of the exam, it gives you the broader view of what exactly it is covered in accounting, ethics, economics, equity, fixed income, everything they try to cover. Okay, so broadly, if you become a CFA charter holder, your chances of becoming a global candidate increases. Okay, so few things about the program benefit. When you add CFA as a charter in your CV, okay, it becomes a huge value addition because a lot of people recognize this with your extensive knowledge, okay, and extensive skill set. So it is widely recognized. Also, it helps you to enter into those diverse areas in the finance space, which normally a BCom or a MBA also, not from a tier 2 college, will not be able to help you into. So CFA being very recognized not only in India but globally, it helps you to enter into those niche areas in the world of finance where largely the opportunities might be very, very rare. And also, as the industry is changing, a lot of people are focusing on upskilling. Okay, so not only the college students who are preparing for this exam, but there are working professionals who are also doing it because they realize that there is a need for upskilling. So if you have done a BCom or a chartered accountancy over a period of time, they need latest skill set which you can learn and you can apply to your day-to-day work. Okay, so from that perspective, you should definitely look at CFA program. I'll now talk about the basic structure. So you have level 3. Okay, 3 levels in the exam: CFA level 1, level 2 and level 3. Okay, level 1 is broadly conducted 4 times a year, level 2 3 times a year. The previous year they conducted also in a different format, and level 3 is only 2 times a year for this year 2024. Okay, now again, the major focus of this session is to give you the idea about how to prepare for the exam. To understand that, you should have a clear idea about what are the different types of books which are available. Now, these are the weightages that we see for the level 1, level 2 and level 3 exam. We are primarily going to focus on CFA level 1. Okay, so you have the first book, which is the ethics. Now this is the backbone, because if you look at the weightage also, it is roughly 15 to 20% weightage, and they have been changing this weightage over a period of time. Now this book basically gives you the idea about if you enter into the industry as an investment management professional or as a risk management professional, what are the basic duties that you're supposed to do, and what are the do's and what are the don'ts. They also give you the code of conduct that you have to follow as a CFA candidate. So very, very important book, cannot be ignored. The second book that you have is the cont. Okay, quantitative methods. In this book, the focus is on statistics, not on calculation, not on mathematics, core mathematics. It is mostly on statistics. The reason we are giving you this introduction, because what happens when you go and work in the industry, in investment banks, in your credit rating agency and all, it is expected that you know the basics of the statistic, because a lot of number crunching might happen in the day-to-day working. A basic analytical skill set has to be there, and hence the quantitative methods helps you to build that. The third is economics, and this is very, very important for students who are planning to enter into equity research, financial modeling, investment research, bond research, fixed income desk. So economics plays a very, very important role into their day-to-day activity. So for them, this book is very, very important, and that is why they have given a good amount of weightage of around 8 to 12% for this book also. The fourth book is FSA. Lot of people, lot of students, they are afraid of this financial statement and analysis. Now, what we generally do in this is that they're giving you how the actual financial statements, like the income statement, cash flow, balance sheet, how they are created and how each parameter or each item in that is going to get impacted and what are the rules related to IFRS and US GAAP. So it is more rules driven book, so you have to know the exact working of the rules and how it is going to impact in detail properly. Okay, next is fifth, which is the corporate issuers book. And over here they are focusing on, if suppose I am issuing bond, I am issuing stock, so what are the different things that can impact me, what are the different corporate structures that are there and that are prevailing in the market. So this book is primarily a basic book, okay, to help you understand how the corporate world or how exactly different companies operate. Okay, then you have the sixth book, which is focusing on equity investments. Now in this book, they give you the broader view of how the equity market works, and then what are the stocks, what are the different types of stock, the pricing of the stock. They're also focusing on equity valuation. So there is one chapter focusing on the equity valuation piece also. Okay, then you have the seventh book, which is your fixed income. Okay, bond related. It's a very, very big book. Now they have added in 2024 huge number of chapters in the fixed income domain. So you will find the number of chapters increasing. Again, the chapters are very small, but it is very, very huge. The next is derivative. Now derivatives, previously there were like 2 chapters in derivatives for CFA level 1, but they realized that okay, those 2 chapters need to be in detail, so increase the number of chapters. So now major number of chapters are from fixed income and derivatives. So derivative focuses on that how does a call, put or options or fixed income derivatives, or for example swaps, how do they operate? Okay, and this derivative books becomes very important when you go to level 2. Okay, so a lot of questions comes from some of that. Then you have alternative investment. Again, they have added a lot of chapters into this. If you would have gone 2 years back, there were only 1 chapter in this book. Now they added more explicit chapter in this book also. AI. Okay, alternative investment explicitly focuses on what are the basic structures of commodity, private equity, fund management and all of that has to be understood by a CFA level 1 candidate. And finally, you have portfolio management. Now this portfolio management becomes very, very important in level 3 because overall it commands 35 to 40% of weightage. Okay. Now, if you look at the broader weightages for CFA level 1, you will find that ethics is very, very important. You'll also find economics slightly important and FSA, which is the financial statement, important. And then there is also equity and fixed income. So when you're preparing for the exam, the first strategy that you have to focus on is equity and fixed income. You cannot ignore. So there are a lot of calculation being used, a lot of calculator driven things are going to happen. So first try to conquer this equity and fixed income properly. Okay, then it will give you good amount of confidence on the clearing of the exam, good amount of confidence. Okay, then you can also focus on FSA. Now FSA, what my suggestion would be, make sure that you have read the book at least 2 times properly before going to the exam. So switch your book, read it properly and solve the institute level questions. Then ethics, how do we tackle ethics? Okay, ethics, ideally you should be when you read the textbook, it is more generic, you will find more common sense stuff, but please make sure that you solve at least for each thing, each principles, each standard, at least 10 to 15 questions at least, and then you'll be getting a hang of what is happening in that standard. Okay, so if you go to CFA level 1 exam, so it's basically a 180 multiple choice, 90 questions. In the morning session you will get 90 questions, in the afternoon session you will get roughly 90. Okay, and each session is around 2 hours 15 minutes, so roughly you get 90 seconds per question. Okay, now the question structure is not very tough. Okay, question structure is not very tough. If you have read the Schweizer book properly, you will be able to clear, but you have to make sure that you get accuracy. Your accuracy should be above 70% to get a good hang of the clearing of the exam. Okay, you get 3 choices in the exam, that also helps the students. Okay, and all questions are equally weighted, so there is no negative marking in the exam. Okay. Let us go to the approach. Now over here, I'm going to talk about the order of the book. Okay. Some orders can be turned. Okay. That's okay. So the first order, that this is what I feel that this is going to be a good order for you to prepare for the exam. So quant, this is the base book for your fixed income, derivative, AI and equity. Okay. Portfolio also. So make sure that you do it before all these books, before your fixed income, before your derivative, before your portfolio, before your equity. Okay, make sure you do this quant properly before that. Okay. Economics, lot of theory. Okay, if you're a commerce student, you must have heard about economics, you must have read about economics, so almost something similar is there, but over here the focus is on from the exam perspective of the organization. So you can swap this also, you can do economics first and then move to quant. That is also okay. It is not going to have any impact on this section. But once you're done with these two books, go towards corporate issuer. Now why am I explicitly highlighting it? Is more theory, less calculation, so it will help you to build the momentum of doing content. Okay, of clearing the content, completing things. Okay, so it will help you to build that momentum. Then you can go towards equity. Okay, again, if you're a normal student who has seen stock market, you have seen how companies operate. Basically, if you're a commerce student, accounting student, you must have heard about equity, so it is not new. Okay, if you're an engineer and if you're preparing for the exam, okay, then these two books have to be done very, very properly, because quant might be your base because you have done statistics, because you're an engineering student, but equity and corporate issuer will help you to build that base, that how a company works. Okay, and then once you're done with that, you can focus on these two bigger item books, that the entire bucket is very, very big for these two, equity, fixed income and derivatives. Okay, put more time into this and solve the question bank. This is very, very important, that you have to solve the question bank. Do not ignore. Okay, then you have alternative investment, you can go in that order, and then move to the portfolio management. That will help you. Ethics, you have to do second last. The reason I'm doing it, I'm asking you, the moment you start doing ethics, you have read the book and then start solving the question every single day. Solve two questions across ethics. Then you can also go for FSA. Okay, FSA is nothing but more focused from the perspective of your accounting. So I'm not explicitly asking you to do it first, because a lot of students, when they start with FSA, they get demotivated. So I'm asking you to do it slightly later. Again, I'm not neglecting that book. This book is very, very important, so do not neglect. But yes, do it closer to the exam, do it two times properly, and you'll be in a good space. Okay, so this is the ideal strategy as per my understanding of teaching students for so long. And if there is any query, you can put it on the chat section also, so do not worry about it. We're going to be also talking about few more ways of preparing for the exam. Okay, preparing for the exam. Let us go to the week-wise preparation. Week-wise preparation for 6 months. Okay, now I explicitly have given 6 months. So overall, if you look at your 5 months journey, okay, so keeping the last 1 month properly for your revision and mock papers and all, if you have roughly 5 months to complete the curriculum, so what ideally you should be doing, so every week, okay, do 5 chapters. Focus on 5 chapters. Okay, it can be 4 or 5 also, because there are certain chapters which are lengthy, certain chapters which are small. Okay, if you're reading a book and if you find the book slightly easy, you can complete the entire book in that week. So from Monday to Friday, okay, if you're working, focus on completing 5 to 6 chapters in that range. And then when you go to Saturday and Sunday, okay, solve the question bank. Now, suppose a lot of students, they have some guidance with them. They are preparing along with some coaching institute and all. So over there, they will also give you some question. Okay. So solve that institute, the coaching institute question first. And do it fast, complete it. That's not a problem. Okay. So if you're following this pattern, 5 chapters, 6 chapters per week, and only solving on weekend, because this will give you clarity. Okay, so in 1 week, you will be able to complete 5 chapters. Roughly in 1 month, you will be able to complete 20 chapters. So in 5 months, you will be able to complete roughly 100 chapters. Okay, now total chapters are around 93 chapters. So 5 months, you will be able to complete everything once properly. in a very structured manner. Okay. And the last 1 month of your preparation, which is the 6th month, last 1 month, what ideally you should be doing is, okay, you should be planning it in such a way that you do three revision of the curriculum properly. Okay. So do first revision and solve the book wise quiz. Okay. Do the second revision and go towards your coaching institute mocks if you have taken coaching. Okay. If you have not, then you can use Swagger book mocks also. Okay. Mocks exam, and then you do third revision, and then you have to do CFA Institute mock. CFA Institute mocks. Okay. Now, things to remember. How should you plan your preparation? I'll explicitly talk about that also. Now, let us go towards the basic thing that I said. You have to complete 5 chapters in 1 week. Okay. And on weekends, I said solve, if you have taken any coaching, then that question bank. Okay. Now, if suppose you started your preparation and you have roughly started the journey, suppose on day 1, on day 0, you started the preparation, and the moment you complete 15 chapters, my suggestion is after 15 or 20, start, okay, your question bank for CFA Institute. Okay. So CFA Institute book, there is a question bank for each chapter. Okay. So once you're done with 15-20 chapters, now what you're going to do every week you're reading 5 chapters. Okay. You're solving the question bank from your mock, and simultaneously you're also solving, okay, the CFA questions of the chapters which you did some week back, 2-3 weeks back. Okay. So it will help you to do the revision of those topics. Okay. It will help you to do the revision of those topics which you have done 3 weeks back, because you're bound to forget. So when you're solving the institute level question, do one revision, quick revision, and solve the institute level question. So it should go parallelly now. It should go parallelly with your preparation of the week wise, preparation of the month wise. Okay. Do not ignore the institute level questions. Okay. Do not ignore. And when you go and look at institute level questions, what ideally happens, you have a questions at the end of the book, and also you have blue boxes in the book. Make sure you solve the blue boxes also. So you should be looking at blue boxes plus the end of chapter. Okay. End of chapter question bank. Solve both of them. Do not leave them. Okay. They are very, very important because they are actually one level above the institute exam. So it will give you very good coverage. Okay. Especially level 2 students, they should not leave the institute question at all. Okay. So this is the overall plan. I'm just summarizing. So 5 chapters per week. So on the weekdays, just go through the curriculum, go to the topic, whichever book I would suggest you, Swagger book. So go through that book properly, understand the concepts, and we can only solve. Okay. So first you will only start solving the questions that you might have got from other sources, and institute level questions start after you have done 15-20 chapter. It should act as a revision for your preparation. When you're solving institute level question, end of the chapter question and blue boxes are very, very important. Do not miss them. Okay. Few tips that I can guide you for the exam. Few tips. Okay. The first is focus on important books. So you have ethics, which is very, very important. Fixed income, very, very important. Then you have FSA, also very important. So these weightages type book, do not make sure that when you're doing the revision also, focus on these books properly while doing the revision. When you're reading for the first time, give equal importance to every book. But when you're doing the revision, start with those proper book which are having the highest weightage. Ethics. Now ethics, what ideally happens, like I said, when you read the book, you realize that it is more or less common sense. But when you have to make sure that for each standard you solve 10 to 15 questions. Okay, so 10 to 15 question has to be solved for each standard and substandard. So do as much solving as possible. Okay, this is a very important advice for college students. A lot of college students they waste their time. Okay, they feel that okay, this is just a normal exam, but they don't realize this is a global exam. So they waste their time. Do not waste the time and do not underestimate the exam. Even if you're working, a lot of working people who train with me, they feel that okay, yeah, because I'm working for 10 years, I know stuff and I'll be able to clear. No, you have to prepare like a student. Please do not underestimate the exam. FRA and ethics are deal breaker. Okay, that's the reason I've asked you to do it closer to the exam so that you can revise it properly again and it is going to be fresh in your mind. Okay, develop a proper study 6-week plan, the plan that I had given you. Use that plan and stick to that plan. That is very, very important. In a lot of cases, okay, in a lot of cases, try to understand the uh, uh, concept behind the formula. They do ask you straight for formula questions also. So I'm not saying formula is not important, but yes, try to understand where this formula will be used, what is the logic, what are the parameters given in the formula, and how it is going to impact my answer. Focus on that. Okay, make sure that you solve institute level question by default. Do not ignore that. Institute level questions are very, very important. Okay, calculators, because CFA, when you compare with FRM and other exams, CFA is slightly more calculation driven. So you have to be very good friend with your financial calculator, which is Texas Instrument BA2 plus, and make sure that before the exam at least you solve 3 to 4 mocks properly, and it should be timed. Okay, don't just read the text and go and solve it. Okay, give proper time conditions, solve it properly so that you get accustomed to sitting that 2.5 hour in the exam, because there's going to be a break. And the reason I'm saying this, because what happens when you go to the actual center, okay, you gave the morning exam, you're very fresh, and after the afternoon exam is going to be very painful, because you're getting frustrated, you're getting fatigued. Okay, you have to leave. You're thinking that okay, when this exam will get over, and this pressure will make you to choose wrong questions. Okay, wrong answer. That is why your time management becomes very important. How you handle yourself on the exam also makes a very big important. Focus on 70% accuracy at least. 70% accuracy at least. Do not just solve the questions. Focus on where you went wrong, what is the mistake, and make sure that you write it down. Now, how are you going to write it down? I'll highlight that section also. Okay, so whenever you're preparing, okay, keep, if it's possible, keep 3 different books, or else in one book make 3 sections. Make 3 sections. Okay, so first book is basically going to be a study book or your self notes. Okay, now what is the self note? So for every chapter, make a 2-pager notes, which is basically a summary for you in your own writing. So when you're watching the video, or for the first time, when you're reading the textbook for the first time, write it down. Okay, the second part is your formula book. Okay, so whatever formula you find in the section, write it down in that second section, focusing on the formula. Okay, and 1 or 2 line regarding the formula, where it is used, what is it related to, something related to formula. Write 1 or 2 line. It will help you to connect. And finally, importance book. What is importance book? See, whenever you're reading, whenever you're solving, okay, suppose you got something interesting which you did not realize while you were preparing, or when you were solving the question bank, you got some point. So make a note of those points, which is important while your preparation, while you're solving. Please make a note of it. Do not ignore it. Okay, so when you have this book in your hand in the last final days, you don't have to worry about the entire 10 books. You just have to read this book. 3 bifurcation, 2-pager notes, formulas in one section, and important pointers which you just got when you were solving. Okay, whatever mistakes you made while solving, everything will get covered in this third section, and that will make your exam. That will make your exam. Mark my word. Okay. And find a mentor. I always tell this to students, don't just prepare on your own. You need to have some mentor who can help you. Okay, who can help you to prepare properly. Okay, it can be your friend who has already cleared the exam, or somebody senior from your college, or some coaching institute person also. That is okay, but you need some mentor who can help you to guide. Okay, somebody who has walked that path, somebody has given the exam, he will be able to understand properly what exactly is this exam and what is the pressure that you're facing. Okay, common queries that lot of students have. If you have any query, please put it on the chat section. I'll also address the queries itself. Okay, common queries. What are the eligibility requirement? for CFA exam? What is the eligibility requirement for the CFA exam? So right, if you're giving the CFA exam in your college, if you're a working professional, you're a graduate, you can directly apply for the exam. There is no problem. But suppose I am becoming a graduate, okay, and I'm becoming a graduate, say around in 2025 August. Okay, so 23 months before this date of graduation, 23 months, okay, that means if I have a 3-year BCom, so after the first year, if I have a 4-year BCom, then after second year, okay, I can apply for first level. Okay, when I am in the final year means 12 months before the exam, 12 months before the exam, okay, then I can apply and give the second level. And when I'm a graduate, okay, I'm done with graduation, okay, then I can give the third level. Now there's been a lot of changes in the CFA approach towards the students, and this is one of the way they have changed their eligibility, so that a lot of college students can sit for this exam. Let us go this CFA exam difficulty. Now what leads to a lot of people, they don't clear the exam because the passing percentage is low. Okay, they've given the exam, they've put so much money into the exam, they are not able to clear. The first reason, okay, the first thing that I would like to tell you about this point is CFA exam difficult. Okay, so concept wise, it is not difficult. Okay, what makes the exam tough, okay, is the sheer size. Okay, because there are 10 books and you have to read a lot. Okay, you have to read a lot for your preparation. Third, the competition is very huge, because right now most of the people who are in the finance sector, or majority of them are planning to give CFA, or either they are preparing for CFA. So when you're looking at CFA level 1, there is huge crowd who's going for it. So this competition becomes very makes the exam difficult, because if you make one mistake, automatically there are so many people who are willing to do better than you, and they will be able to get better quartiles or better percentile in the exam for that book. How many months to prepare? Okay, how many months to prepare? Okay, so like I said, ideally you need 6 months. Okay, even if you're working, because daily you need to dedicate 2 hours. Okay, if you're preparing, then daily 2 hours is by default you need. Okay, if you're a working college student, okay, then I generally recommend between 6 months to 9 months proper preparation. Okay, and over here college students, I ask them to dedicate more than 3 hours every single day. Okay, the reason being is they need to be in the flow. They have not seen a similar exam in their college, and it becomes slightly tough for them to clear it. Hence 6 months to 9 months is ideal time for them to prepare for the exam CFA. Okay, and I'm talking about CFA level 1 explicitly. CFA level 2 has a very different ball game, so we'll be creating one more video for CFA level 2 students. How much time to dedicate for CFA preparation? Like I said, if you have 6 months and you're working 2 hours is good enough. Okay, focus on weekends. Then your weekends, you should be able to dedicate 6 hours easily each day, 6 hours each day. Okay, if you're a student, okay, 6 months to 9 months is good enough. Obviously it has some background. If you're already a student of FRM or some other course, then it might become slightly easy for you. But 6 months to 9 months, and daily you should focus on 3 hours. Try to give 3 hours as much as possible, because it is not going to be consistent. Okay, weekends, roughly, if you're a student and if you're putting more time on weekday, so weekend around 4 hours, 5 hours maximum is good enough. So for them, the weekend, it should be around 4 hours roughly. Okay, preparing for CFA exam is with full-time job, it is possible. Okay, lot of them, they clear. So do not worry. Okay, when you have a job, okay, the only thing that you have to make sure when you're working is consistency. So if you are thinking that, okay, whether I should go for the CFA exam or not, because I'm a working professional, ask yourself this question. If I'm going to go the exam in the next 7-8 months, will I be able to sit every single day to prepare for the exam? If your answer is yes, and you're able to maintain consistency, very, very good chances that you will be able to clear the exam. No matter what is your background, no matter what is the difficulty level of the paper, you will be able to clear the exam. Okay. So preparing with full time is extremely possible. Do not worry about it. Is CFA exam cont driven? That is not a huge calculation. But what is the beauty of CFA level 1 at least is that the cont, or basically the calculation that you get, it is easy. Okay. And it is, in lot of cases, it is formula driven. So if you remember the formula, you'll be able to answer it. Okay. They don't test deeply in level 1. They try to test it in level 2. The concept, more of the concept, but for cont part, they will generally ask you calculation straightforward. So it has to be like this. Focus more, okay, on the formula part. More or less questions are very simple and straightforward. So it does have some calculation, some cont part, but it is manageable. Don't worry, it is still manageable to clear the exam. Okay. What is the difference between level 1, level 2 and level 3? Okay, so whatever 10 books we talked about, okay, so in level 1, they're just going to give you the brief. Okay, level 2 is the actual test where the focus is on huge preparation. Okay, so in level 1, they will just give you the basics. Okay, in level 2, they will actually test, okay, the concept which you have read in CFA level 1. And then in CFA level 3, okay, they will ask you, okay, to create a portfolio for the client. Or you are basically, in a very simple language, what they are doing is they are asking you to take decisions on the basis of the concept that you have understood, on the basis of the basic stuff that you have understood. So as a portfolio manager, as an investment manager, you have to take decisions. Okay, that is where the interesting part is, level 3. Okay. Is work experience required to take the CFA exam? No. The answer is straightforward, no. Okay, lot of college students, they can clear the exam. They have cleared the exam. Okay, so students, okay, they can definitely clear the exam. Okay, so do not worry about it. The focus has to be primarily, okay, that whether you are in a position to dedicate time, consistency is there or not. Okay, how I can help you in your preparation? We have a team of trainers for the CFA exam preparation. I'll be also part of that. And what is the pattern that we follow? Okay, so we give the videos. Okay, we give the videos beforehand. Okay, give the videos beforehand. So what has happened when you come to the lecture? You've already seen the video, and when you're watching the video, you're writing your doubts, okay, in each paragraph. So what happens when you attend the lecture? First of all, it becomes a revision for you. Second, okay, you know what is the question that you have to ask. You know what is a paragraph, which paragraph I should be focusing on. Okay, this gives you very, very good boost. Okay, and then when you are in the session, you get an opportunity to ask your queries also. If suppose the trainer is teaching and your doubt is not cleared, you can ask the query. If the doubt is still not clear, you can take it offline. That means after the session, you can talk to that trainer. Also, there's a Telegram group where you can post your query. There are other students also that can help you to prepare. And we also have a guidance call, okay, from the faculty, okay, itself. If you're facing any challenge, they can help you in terms of guiding. Okay, what should be your strategy? Which book you're facing challenge? How should you tackle that? That is also there. Okay. So Arun, answering to your query, do we need to go through both books, CFA Institute book and Schweger? No, only Schweger is good enough for your preparation. So do not worry about it. Okay. You can just focus on Schweger and clear. A lot of people have already cleared using Schweger. So don't worry about CFA because it is bulky. Okay. And Schweger is a good representation of the CFA book. Okay, so we have around 3,000 plus questions which we provide. There's a mock assessment given at the end. We also help in placement. We have a lot of students who are already working in industry. We have tie-ups with the career counselors and all, and they will guide you also in the future if there is a need. We also take session regular assessment in terms of feedback, okay, for your preparation. And we try to connect it to what is happening in the real world, okay, in terms of investment banking examples and all. And faculties are with corporate experience. They've worked and they've cleared the exam, and hence they're the better person to guide you in your preparation. Okay, and also CFA certified professionals are going to be a part of this journey of you helping and clearing the exam. Okay, so we have the basic plan, which is the question bank plan. Then you have the standard, which is videos plus question bank. Then you have the professional plan, okay, in which there's going to be live sessions also, and all in all there's going to be a physical lectures also in Mumbai. Okay, few of the CFA demo sessions are already available. We'll be adding more videos of CFA in the YouTube channel in the upcoming months. To do watch it and do provide your feedback on the way we are preparing for the exam. Okay, I hope everybody is good, and I've tried to answer the query. Arun, I've answered the query also. Okay, in case if you want to get some guidance for your preparing for the exam, put this. So it is 9819137880. You can reach us on WhatsApp and we can help you in your preparation and guidance. Okay, so we'll be coming up with YouTube live on Tuesday and Thursday, okay, at 8 p.m. So do join us. A lot of times we're going to be talking about FRM, CFA, SCR, FRM level 2, CFA level 1, level 2 in those sessions. So definitely join us for these sessions, and it is going to be interesting because we want you to help to clear the exam. So if there is no query, we can close the session for today. So thank you very much, guys, for joining in. We'll meet in the future again on the next Tuesday. Okay, thank you very much, guys.